Hello everyone and welcome to Meet Me at the Table. This is Colin and today we are going to do a prototype playthrough of X-ODUS Rise of the Corruption. This is a second edition of this game. I actually backed it, I think it was 2018, 2019, the original one. Ended up selling it, but I really enjoyed it, and this now is the second edition, and the adjustments that they've made is awesome. I can't wait to show this to you. I do want to call out this is a prototype playthrough, so don't watch this for rules because rules could change. Just see if this is maybe something for you. You will see in this prototype the quality is insane, so I am really excited to see what the final version is. If it's as good as this, I am going to be one happy camper. I will put in the description below when I know it's going live so that you can click on that link for crowdfunding. I don't have the date yet, but we'll just jump in and do a 2-ship playthrough. That's one of the big changes. You now can play with 2 ships. It used to be you had to play with 3 or 4. We'll be playing with just 2. I have certainly talked enough. Let's go ahead and jump into a light setup and just start our playthrough. In this game, we have a couple of different goals we need to achieve in order to win. What we need to do is find these 2 tiles. They are the precursor key tiles. We need to find those, complete the challenges that relate to those precursor signals and pick up the keys, and then bring them and drop them off here at the main rift. You can see that's slightly larger than these smaller rifts. This is the main rift tile. If we're able to do that and then protect this rift from any of the avatars that are out on the board, we then win the game. But if ever both of our ships get destroyed at the same time, we lose, or the corruption track gets to the highest point, we also lose. So what we need to do is set up our tiles. Because we're playing a 2-ship playthrough, we only have 2 precursor signals. If we were playing with 4 ships, you would have 4 of these. So I have 2 of these tiles. I have a bunch of positive allied tiles. I have these orange tiles that have enemies, and then I have the corruption tiles as well as the main rift tile. I'll grab the blue and orange tiles, give them a shuffle, and set them out into 4 separate piles. Each of these stacks have 4 tiles each. I'm going to have this be my bottom stack, and that one I will shuffle in the main rift. So you have to get to the final 5 tiles in order to win the game. The other corruption tiles that I have here, I'm going to shuffle them up. I'm going to place 1 in each of these stacks. That means I have 2 left over. One we're going to set aside. There is an event that may potentially have that one come out, and this one is going to be our starting tile. Now what I'll do is I'll shuffle each of these individually and then place each one on top of one another with the main rift at the bottom. These are the tiles we're going to explore throughout the game. On our starting tile, we'll place our 2 ships. We have the Battle Cruiser and the Explorer. Normally those are standees, but to make recording easier, I'm having them lay flat. These are considered walls, so you can't move through them. These are open hyperspace lanes where we can explore. Speaking of our 2 ships, let's go ahead and meet them. Here is our battle cruiser. Our battle cruiser starts with a red and a yellow die. You can see that in the spots here. We've placed them each here. This one's better at attacking. This one gives us a little bit of variety of everything. We've got some of the skill symbols as well, and also some damage. We'll have 3 actions around. We'll track that here. These ship mats are so much nicer than the original ones. We start with only 1 energy. This is our max energy line, and hopefully we can upgrade that and gain more energy each round. We'll track our experience down here. So we start with 1 augmentation to our ship, and as we level up, we can gain more and more augmentations, up to 6. And each of those are unique for each of the different ships, and they're dual-sided. So we get to choose 1 for our battleship. We can choose either the magnetic shield. Now it costs an energy to activate this. It's an after an attack roll. All ships in the fleet ignore 1 of your misses, because how this game works, you roll your 2 dice and that determines your attacks and your misses. That is a miss. Each die has 2 misses on them, and then the other 4 sides are different symbols. So we could choose that side, or we could choose spend an energy, you or another ship in the fleet ignore 2 of those misses, because you can potentially roll double misses, and those are usually really bad. But it's more likely that you're going to roll 1, so I like to start with this one, the magnetic shield. We'll place that augmentation up here on top. I also have a die here. It's a D12 that's used to determine if we want to take stress and try and gain 1 additional action for our turn. Our final part of setup for the battle cruiser is setting up our hull. So we have 8 total health. That's a lot of health. These, as we take damage, they get flipped over, but there are times when these can actually be removed from the game, and then now I only have 7 health in total. But right now I have 8, and they're all healed up and ready to go. Oh, and we all start with 1 scrap. Scrap you're going to be using to potentially buy mods. You can also use scrap to increase your energy. This amount of scrap can also change depending upon the difficulty that you're playing. I'm playing on the standard difficulty. One more item I'd like to mention is how you actually level up in this game. Sometimes certain exploration cards will let you level up, but in general, we will level up when we ignore 1 or more of our misses on our dice. That's the other reason why having that magnetic shield, not only am I preventing damage, but I'm also gaining experience. Our second ship we're going to play with is our Explorer. We also start with 1 energy in total. We have a blue and a yellow die, and those have names. The blue are precision dice, and the yellow are aptitude dice. The red ones are considered impact dice because they usually do some more damage. We have 4 actions around instead of 3 like the battle cruiser, but we only have 6 hull. We start with that 1 scrap as well. And then how we level up. When you place a removed exploration marker on this mat, so every time our explorer explores, we'll place one of those on our mat here, and then we'll level up. Our augmentation we need to choose from is the probe scanner. We can spend an energy, and that says when you send a probe, draw 2 systems, keep one and return the other to the top of the system stack. So that lets us explore a little bit better. Or we have, before any non-combat roll, you can spend an energy to add 1 die from the reserve to your dice pool. And the reserve is something completely new in this version as well. I think I'm going to be on this side, all about probing, because we can look at 2 and maybe more strategically place out our tiles. We also have a total of 6 hull, which I have marked with our tokens here. Something that's completely new to the second edition is the reserve pool. Now we have 4 of those boost dice, and you always will have those in here, and then you can choose which dice colors you want here. I chose 1 of the dark blue, 2 of the red, and then 1 of the yellow. We also have an area for co-pilots. Now in a 2-player ship game, we get to reveal 3 of them around, and we can use these anytime during our turn. Each one has a dual use, and usually you have to spend something, but then you gain something. For example, this command uplink, we have before any non-combat roll, we can spend 1 scrap to add 1 die from the reserve to your dice roll. Now, whenever you use a die from the reserve, it's removed for the rest of the game. At least that's how I read it from these prototype rules. Could be wrong on that and they might change it, but it's really actually a very interesting mechanic because you don't want to use them too quickly, but they are a resource to use. So we could use either side of this by spending 1 scrap. This one, we can use either side of this by spending 1 energy. In 2-player, you only have 3. Next, we have our corruption board. This is one of the ways that we lose. If this cube ever gets to the top here, we auto lose the game. So we have a timer, so to speak. We also have areas where additional avatars show up on the board. During this game, we'll have 3, maybe 4, depending upon the events that we encounter. But every time we land on a space with one of these red symbols, we will place out a new avatar. Those are really large ships. They are hard to defeat, and they're going to chase us down. It's so fun. We also have this symbol over here, which denotes that we grab the next level worth of ships and shuffle it into the active set of ships. So right now, I have level 1 ships that we can encounter. Once this gets to here, we'll shuffle in the level 2s with whatever's remaining with the level 1s, and then we'll do the same thing here for level 3s and level 4s. We also have our 2 precursor signals. Now, depending upon the difficulty, you'll choose certain types. Since I'm playing on standard, we have a medium difficulty one and a hard one, and I don't know which is which. I've shuffled them up. When we reveal tiles with these symbols, we will then move on to those tiles, and then we can reveal these and see how we finish them. Next, we have the Ascendancy board, which I believe is completely new as well from the first edition. This is just more ways for the corruption to increase, as well as we have augmentations for the avatars themselves. So on the standard difficulty, you start at level 1, which means we reveal the level 1 augmentation. And there's 4 cards right now in this deck, so I've randomly grabbed 1 for each of the different levels. Every time we hit another level, we reveal another one, and the avatars become stronger. We also have Ascendancy cards, which we'll be placing up here. They look like these. We'll be drawing that right at the beginning of our first turn. Currently, for this playthrough, during the corruption phase, we have to increase the ascendancy track by 1 if ships collectively have more than whatever our threshold is of damage. Well, our threshold is the number down here. It's a 1. So if we have more than 1 damage collectively as a team, we're going to be increasing this during the corruption phase. As this goes up, though, it won't do that as much because the number goes to 2, then 4, and all the way to 6. At the side of the table, we have tons of different cards here. We've got exploration cards, ally cards, precursor modules, regular modules, the sentinel enemies. This is the active ones. These are the ones that are in reserve. The 4 avatars are corrupted fate, damage cards that we can draw. Lots of stuff. You'll see how all of that works as we play. Given that this is a prototype playthrough, I think we're just going to jump in. I'll explain our actions as we play. We're going to start with the action phase. The first thing we need to do, because of the difficulty level that we're playing, the standard, we have to reveal 1 ascendancy card. If you're playing on an easier difficulty, you get 1 round where you don't have to do that, but we have to reveal ours right away. We have the Unknown Veil. The galaxy holds both peril and promise, but only those who dare to uncover its secrets will find the tools to resist the corruption. Every unexplored system is a risk, an unseen threat waiting to strike, or an untapped resource left to waste. The fleet must chart the stars with urgency, ensuring no opportunity slips through their grasp. We now need to place a marker that matches the number of ships in play. Each time you explore a system, you can advance it. So we're going to place it here, and because we're playing with 2 ships, so we only need to advance that 1 time. When this is discarded, which there are 2 slots, so next time this will be moved over to slot 2, and then after that it'll be discarded. So once it's discarded, if this is not prevented, from now on we have to increase ascendancy by 1 whenever a ship sends a probe, and that would be terrible. So we for sure want to do an explore action. After we've revealed our ascendancy card, we move to ship actions. Now we have to choose which ship is going to activate first. We're going to start with the Explorer, but we also have an option to join as a fleet and actually work together, but then our actions are shared. We can do that at any time during our turns, and I'm thinking of becoming a fleet, but if I do a fleet right now, then the Explorer loses 1 of their actions. Because they have 4, the Battlecruiser only has 3. So we're going to do 1 action as the Explorer, and then we'll probably do the other 3 together. You're going to see why as we play. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to spend an action, and we are going to send out a probe. That means we're going to reveal a new tile. Now, normally you just flip a new tile, but I am going to spend that 1 energy so we can reveal 2 and choose which one to reveal. Before revealing our tiles, we need to choose where we're exploring. Let's explore here. So we'll look at the top 2. Ooh, this one has an enemy ship as well as an exploration. And this one is just a corrupted tile. Corrupted tiles are where avatars can spawn and they can jump between them, basically like gates. So you want to have them bunched up together as much as possible so you don't have to deal with them. So we could just do this one. You know what? Let's do that. We're going to do this one. And so I said we're exploring this way. So let's place it like this. Now this was sending a probe. That meant I just revealed it. I did not move onto it. You can blind jump as well, but I had that ability to look at the top too. This one then will go on top of the stack. That was our first action for our Explorer ship. Now I'm going to have us join into a fleet. Once you join a fleet, you need to be a fleet for the rest of this round, but at the end of the round, you can then no longer be in a fleet if you don't want to, or you can be in a fleet at the beginning of the next round if you'd like. What I'm thinking of doing is having us blind jump together over here. We know what tile we're going to find. Let's flip it, and this one has both an enemy ship and an exploration token. So we know we need to explore, that's why I wanted to do that, and we can potentially show you some combat, because combat is how our battlecruiser will level up. When we move on to this tile, we can choose to do a detection roll if we don't want to be detected. So maybe I'd want to sneak through this and not fight that enemy. I want to fight that enemy, and I remember from the first edition, and it wasn't 100% clear here, but I'm pretty sure that I don't have to do the detection roll if I don't want to. I can choose to be seen and immediately move into combat. Combat isn't an action. Once you move in there, you initiate it, or we could try and evade it with a detection roll, and we'd both roll both of our dice, and if we didn't roll any blanks, then we could continue going without having to fight this enemy. But I want to fight the enemy because then we can explore for our third action. We found for ourselves a level 1 chaser. This chaser has 5 total health, no shields at all. if you roll a single blank, you're going to take 1 damage and they're considered aggressive. That means on your next combat round, you must choose defense, and you'll see what that means in a second. If we end up rolling 2 blanks, it says here, take a damage and disrupting. Disrupting states you need to discard one of the active co-pilots, which would be really annoying. So we don't want to have a double blank. The game comes with a nice flowchart for combat, but it's actually not terribly complex. Let's just walk through it. So the first thing you need to do is choose either do you want to be in an offensive stance or a defensive stance. If you're in an offensive stance, you roll both your dice, but you're more likely to take damage because 1 or 2 of those could be blanks. I'm definitely going to have both of us go into offensive here. I want to kill this ship in one go. Conversely, we could try and just flee or hide. I'll probably show you that later, but for now we're good. Then we're going to roll dice. We can activate any before attack roll effects, roll dice, and then activate any after attack. We can also use a co-pilot because some of these co-pilots will let us do stuff before or after an activation. Then, if the enemy is defeated, even if we have blanks, we can ignore them. If the enemy is not defeated, then we need to resolve the enemy ability for the 1 circle or 2 circle symbols. And we'll rinse and repeat that until we either defeat them, decide to run away, or our ships are defeated. We'll start off with our battle cruiser. We'll give our dice a roll, and that is a great hit. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 total successes, and we have 2 skill icons. Right now we have no abilities to use skill icons for, so that's just 4 damage and a skill icon. Let's see, I'm kind of hoping for 1 blank from our Explorer so that then we can use our ability to cancel it. And we did get a blank. Not to mention we also got another hit, which will be enough to take out the chaser. We're going to spend the 1 energy here to have all ships in the fleet ignore 1 miss. And whenever we do that, we gain 1 XP. We dealt exactly 5 damage, which is all we need to take out that chaser. So the chaser is destroyed, and that system will be pacified for the next 2 turns, or this turn and the next turn. We'll also have each ship gain 1 scrap because this is a level 1 ship. If it had been a level 4 ship, we'd gain 4 scrap each. We'll place that blue pacify token here to say we've pacified this system for now. That will flip to the red for the next turn, and then it'll be removed after that. So if we move back in, we'd have to fight another one of these Sentinel enemies. We've completed 1 action together as a fleet. Let's do a second action, and let's explore. So we're going to remove this. We're going to have the Explorer do that action so they can place this on their mat, and that gives them 1 XP. That means they only need 1 more to be able to gain a second augmentation. We found the Collapsing Star Relay. This is an Insight Exploration card. You can see these symbols that have a single triangle here. That means only 1 ship can choose that action each. This one, everyone can choose that action, and we would resolve it and split it up according to the ships that are there. This one just lets us jump anywhere on the board, so that's totally not helpful. So what I think I'm going to do, because my Explorer ship is a rogue type, we can actually have them send a probe through the lane itself. This will allow us to draw and place a system tile anywhere, ensuring that they're connected via a hyperspace lane. That's really cool. This one over here for our battle cruiser then we'll choose. That's gather some materials from the machine. That will give us 4 more scrap, which is amazing. That means he has 6 total scrap. We're going to be able to do some fun stuff with that. We'll draw that top tile, and we have another orange one. Ooh, so this one's interesting. So we have an enemy here. This plus means it's going to be an augmented, a more difficult enemy. We actually draw from the top of the reserve deck, which means right now would be a level 2 instead of a level 1. Well, seems... Actually, I think it's doable for our group. We could probably do it because the battle cruiser is very powerful. So I'm thinking of placing that there. It also gives us another exploration that we can potentially do. So I'll place a token right here to denote that. And we explored a system, so we can tick this over 1 to the right, and that will mean this will have no negative effect for us when it gets discarded. That will end our exploration action. I think we actually have 2 more actions left because we explored here for 1 on the explorer's turn on their own. They did the probe. So then we had 3 actions. Then we moved here as a blind jump. So we had 2 actions. Oh, then we did the exploration. So we only have 1 action left. So we could move in here and fight a more difficult enemy. And I'm kind of feeling it. I might be being a little bit risky. The other idea I could do is just do a ship upgrade, but I don't have enough scrap for our Explorer to really make that worth it. So why not? Let's move into here. Now we could once again do a detection roll. That's where I would roll our dice and look for any blanks, but I kind of want to just fight a level 2 enemy. So I'm going to grab one from the top of the reserve deck, and this will be a level 2 Sentinel. But if we defeat him, we gain 2 scrap instead of 1. This time we found a level 2 defender, 9 health. Ow, maybe this wasn't a good idea. We have dampen for the 1 miss, and I'm realizing we can't use our ability to ignore misses because we don't have any energy. Yeah, I might have spread us a little thin. We'll deal with it. Dampen means we have to ignore one of our successes on our dice. That's terrible. And corrupting over here means gain a corrupted die counter until the end of that turn. A corrupted die counter is terrible because whenever you roll a blank, you then have to resolve one of these corrupting fate cards, and you can just imagine they're not good. So do I run away or do I try and take him out? Well, you know what we're going to do. We're going to try and take him out. 9 health. We can do a bunch of damage with that battle cruiser. So I think we're going to have both of them go on to the offensive. There's nothing like taking little bits of chances, right? Oh, okay. So that's for our battleship. We've got 3 damage. It's probably only going to be 2, and we're going to take a damage. Then we have for our Explorer, they're going to roll up. Okay, they at least have 2 hits and no damage. Now, there are some co-pilots here, and I think we might have our battlecruiser use this one. This states we can spend 1 scrap to, after an attack roll, ignore one of our blanks. So we're going to do that. That means we don't have any blanks, and actually we just ignored one of those. That will help us level up, which we'll do in a second. 3, 4, 5. 5 total damage to this guy. It has 4 health left. I'm totally going to say we did this on purpose, and this will level up so we can gain our second augmentation. So this one now we have a skill ability. So anytime we roll that skill icon once per combat, we can activate this. So if I roll multiple of those skill icons, we can still only use 1. This says after an attack roll, you or another ship in the fleet can ignore one of these per the actual skill icons. So we can actually ignore more if we had them. That's nice. What's the other side? Each of the skill icons counts as 1 hit, and you can also ignore one of these circles. Wait, what's this one? You or another ship in the fleet ignore 1. No, we are definitely going to do the interceptor laser. So after the attack roll, each of these counts as a success, and we can also ignore one of those circles. Heck yeah. You can see the ships are set up to hold the augmentations on the top and bottom, so it's every other. 1, 3, and 5 are here, 2, 4, and 6 are at the bottom. We'll move to the next round of combat. I'm going to have the battlecruiser be in the offensive mode, and we're going to have the Explorer be on the defensive, so they'll only roll 1 die. Oh my gosh, double blanks. That is horrible. What a terrible roll. Okay, we're going to have to deal with that. And then we will roll just 1 die. We'll roll this blue one for the Explorer. That's also a blank. This was not good. This will mean each of them will take 1 damage. So one of their hulls will be flipped over. Then, because we have the corrupting ability for the defender, I have to place this corruption temporarily on one of my 2 dice. I'm going to place it on the yellow die, so if I miss with the yellow die going forward for the rest of this turn, I have to deal with the corrupted fate. Now, the Explorer would have to reduce their total successes by 1. Well, they don't have any anyways, so that's it. Let's see. I think we're going to continue with combat. We're going to go full attack again. Come on. I'm going to roll that yellow. I know it's risky. I'm going to roll them up. Oh, look at that. That's 2 hits and a skill. That skill is considered a hit for our battlecruiser. So that's 3 total successes. And then our Explorer will do the same thing. And we have 1, 2, 3 total hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's enough to take that defender out. And we each gain 2 scrap. We also will be able to pacify this system for the next 2 turns. That was our final action. Now what we could do is a surge. We could surge and gain 1 additional action each, but then we have to roll our surge die, and we have a potential of taking damage or even a damage card. I don't think we need that for this round. We already explored 3 tiles in 1 round. I feel pretty good about that. Took out 2 enemies. So I think I'm going to end the action phase. Step 3 of the action phase is discarding the Ascendancy card in slot 2. We don't have any there for now, so we can move to the Corruption phase. Unfortunately, we are going to have to trigger this one, and we do have to increase our Ascendancy by 1 because we have 2 damage collectively, 1 to each of our ships. If I only had 1, we would have been okay. Next, our Corruption increases by 1. And then if any avatars were on the board, they'd start moving, but we don't have any on there until turn 4. So we're good there. We can move to the end phase. During the end phase, we will regenerate all of our energy. So you do get all of your energy back, which for us right now is just 1. And then we flip these tokens to the red side. Next time, they'll be removed and they're no longer pacified. We also are no longer a fleet. We can't forget, we also get to discard the other co-pilots that are out and replenish with 3 new ones that we can use for the next turn. Ooh, recovering health. Ooh, recovering energy. That's cool. And some strain modulator. Ooh, rerolling your strain die. Yeah, lots of good stuff. We'll slide this card over and move to turn 2. We'll draw a new Ascendancy card, Pacification. The corruption festers in the shadows of unchallenged foes. If left unchecked, its influence will spread, engulfing system after system in unstoppable tides. The fleet must strike first, purging hostile forces before they can reinforce and tighten their grip on the sector. There is no safety in inaction, only the illusion of control. Okay, we need to place another token here. We're at 2 players, so we'll place it there. And it says, place a marker on here. Each time you pacify a system, which I just pacified 2 systems this last turn, we get to move it over. It says when you discard, increase the Ascendancy track based on the progress. So you can see if I don't do it at all, it's going to increase it by 1. We'll now move to our ship action phase. The first thing we'll do with our Explorer, we're going to explore or send out a probe looking at 2 tiles, choosing 1. I think I'm going to choose over here because likely this is not going to be a corrupted tile. I'm going to keep the corrupted tiles over here. So we either have another orange. Gosh, there's all these orange ones. Oh, and that one has a wormhole. If we can have another one that has a wormhole, they can jump between the others. And this one is just another enemy that we cannot avoid. If we move in there, we immediately are detected. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. So let's do this one and place it here. There is also an exploration token, and I love exploring as the Explorer. Now we're going to join ourselves as a fleet, and I think we're going to do a ship maintenance action. This costs 1 AP, and we can perform any 2 of these actions. We can repair our hull by paying 1 scrap. We can remove damage, pay scrap costs. I should say that's a damage card. You'd have to pay the cost on the card. We can increase our max energy, which we're going to do. We can just scavenge to gain a scrap, or we can collect keys from a defeated ship, or even salvage modules and turn modules back into scrap if we don't like them. Our battlecruiser wants to upgrade his energy twice, so that's going to cost us 2 to move it up once, and then 3 more to move it up a second time. And whenever you move your max, you also move your current up by 1. Our Explorer is also going to move up their energy by 1, and then we'll just pay 1 scrap to repair that 1 hull that took damage. That way we only have 1 damage right now. Hopefully I don't push up that Ascendancy track. Our next action, we are going to explore together, and that's great because we will be able to level up as our Explorer. And our options are the system-wide scanner, gain 2 scrap whenever you explore, or we have whenever you reveal a system, you can gain 1 scrap. Let's do this one, gaining 1 scrap every time we reveal a system. We reveal a lot of systems, so that will help us with some scrap generation. It looks like we found a threat exploration card in Unstable Rift. Interesting. Okay, so we have to choose this option. There's only one. An ancient rift reopens, threatening to tear apart this entire expanse of space. You must evade its gravitational pull, lest you succumb to the insidious forces of corruption. Nice. So we have to roll between our 4 dice. We have to roll 1 skill icon. If we do, we all gain 1 XP. That's nice, but if we don't, we have to immediately end our turn right now. Losing an entire turn is brutal in this game. Because we're a fleet, we can roll all of our dice together and combine the results. If our Explorer had done this on their own, they'd only roll their 2 dice. And I definitely see skill icons, so we are good. We'll each gain 1 XP. We're 1 away from gaining our 3rd augmentation. This is where we have to decide if we want to move here, just take out a level 1 ship, or do we want to move here and just keep finding tiles? Because remember, we're on a timer, and I've only revealed 4 tiles right now. I don't know. I feel like we can do one more auto detection here. Let's do this combat, and then we're going to really have to start moving next turn. We have found a level 1 tracker. If you roll a single miss, then we take 1 damage and we have binding. Binding means you cannot disengage during the next attack. I'm not going to be doing that. The guy only has 6 health. The other one is 2 damage and binding. Oh yeah, let's take this guy out. We're going to both be on the offensive. If we do take this guy out, that will also pacify this system. Okay, we've got 3 damage there. Actually, that's 4. That's 4 damage from our battleship. And we have, only 1. That's 5. So we didn't kill him. Now we do have a miss. However, I can spend 1 energy to ignore that miss, and we gain our next augmentation for our battleship. We can either choose the focused tactical array. It costs an energy. You or another ship in the fleet reroll both dice. Oh, that's kind of appealing. Or this one, all ships in the fleet reroll 1 die. I think I'm going to take the both dice one this time. This poor tracker ship only has 1 health remaining, so for the next round, I'm going to go defensive and only roll 1 die each. Well, that's the damage that we need, so it doesn't matter what I roll here. Even if it's a miss, because we're taking him out, we don't have to take the damage from the tracker. So we will each gain 1 scrap, and this tracker's defeated, and we pacified a system. Pacifying that system means we've also taken care of that ascendancy card. Now you're going to see that's not going to happen normally. Right now we've had 2 ascendancy cards we could easily handle, but eventually we're not going to be able to handle them, and it's going to start pumping up our ascendancy track. We've completed our actions for the round. We could strain to gain 1 more action each, but I think I'm going to forego that this time. So we do need to discard the unknown veil. That does nothing because we have cleaned it out, so no issues there for this round. We then would trigger this Vexel card, but we can ignore that as well because I only have 1 damage between the 2 of us. However, corruption will continue to increase by 1. Next turn, the avatars are showing up, so I've got to be careful, and the enemies are going to level up. We didn't use any of the co-pilot cards this turn. That's fine. I'm sure we will in future turns. We'll place out new ones, and we're good to go. We'll also remove these pacify tokens and flip this one over. And now let's start the next turn by drawing our next ascendancy card. We have the unified front. Alone they are vulnerable, scattered they are doomed, the corruption thrives on isolation, breaking the will of those who stray too far from their allies. To withstand the coming darkness, the fleet must rally, standing together as one or risk being picked off ship by ship until nothing remains. Place a marker on the left slot before discarding this card. If all ships are in the same system, move the marker. Oh, we should be able to do that. We've been hanging out together right now. It says when you discard this, if not prevented, increase 1 per ship in play. Well, we should be able to be in the same location. So far we're doing okay with these. We'll start off this turn with our explorer ship. We're going to explore. That will give us another XP. And after we choose that card and see what we find, we will level up. We found the precursor singularity. Now this is only for the explorer. The battleship is not exploring with them. We could do a skill roll and adjust their reaction and absorb the energy. Then if we do that, we can actually, and we succeed, we could recover all of our actions and go back up to 4 actions. Oh, interesting. Or we could get 4 scrap to just blast the monument to pieces. If we were a specialist, we aren't. So we cannot do this one. So we have those 2 options. Do we want to just a free action? Let's see if we can do a free action. Now, if we fail, we get a damage card. But we just need a skill icon, and our dice are pretty good at skill icons. We get to roll both of our dice for this. I've got a skill icon. So that means that took no actions. Because we're now at augmentation level 3, we can choose a 3rd ability. This is Hyperspace Probe Launcher. We can reveal a tile X systems away. So I could spend 3 energy and it could be 3 away. I love that one. Or this one, reveal an additional adjacent system. That's nice, but this one gives us so much flexibility on setting up our board. I'm leaning towards that one. I think I'm going to do that one. Because we're still at 4 actions, we're going to spend an action and look at the next 2 tiles. There's only one way out of this system, and it's through here. So it's either going to be another orange one. I swear there's blue ones in here. There's a blue one. Let's most certainly do the blue one. Now this has a wormhole. Only we can use that for sure. Sometimes the avatars can use those if they roll their dice correctly, but we can use those to jump between tiles, which can be super helpful. We do have another exploration on this tile as well. So that was action 1. We've got 3 actions left. Let's work as a team. We're going to fleet together. Oh, and we get 1 scrap because we just explored, or I should say revealed, a new tile. Explore and reveal, a little different. So now we have 3 scrap. Oh, do we want to level up? Not yet. We're not going to. I was thinking we could use scrap to be able to gain some more energy, which is ultimately what we want for that ability to explore X amount of tiles away, or I should say reveal them, but let's not do that yet. Action 1, we're going to move here. Action 2, it's so hard not to explore, right? That's what we want to do, is explore. Yeah, action 2, we're going to explore together. That will give us another XP, 1 away from getting our level 4 ability. We found the Precursor Valley. The statue stands sentinel over a site where an ancient civilization once worshipped the precursors. Erosion unveils advanced technology seamlessly fused with stone, its purpose shrouded in mystery. Okay, we don't have a specialist. We have combat and rogues. We can't do this one. That means we can each do one of these. This one says explore the valley for resources, gain 4 scrap. They each have 3 right now. Let's have the explorer gain the 4 scrap. And then we'll have the battle cruiser gather samples of the technology. The symbol up here means we can gain a ship module. Normally we'd have to pay for it, but we just found one for free, so we'll just gain one. We found for ourselves a shielded reactor. It says during a strain damage roll, roll twice and choose the lower result. So when we try and strain, we have to roll this d12. And for us, if we roll less than a 5, we're fine. But if we roll a 5 to, it looks like an 11, we take 1 damage. If we roll an 11 or 12, we actually take a damage card. So this lets us roll this twice and take the better result. Normally that costs 3 scrap. We just got that for free. Well, that was kind of cool. Why don't we go ahead for our final action and just do a blind jump? We know what we're getting over here. That is revealing a tile, so that means our explorer gets another scrap. Well, they're going to get so much scrap, it's going to be insane. Then we'll flip this. Do I want to put the wall? I kind of want to put the wall this way. Yeah, so that we prevent dealing with those corrupted tiles. So we're going to move on to here. Now, I am going to do a detection roll because if... Well, yeah, do I care? I think I can take out one more level 1. Let's take out another level 1 ship, shall we? So we'll take down a level 1 ship. This is an interdictor, either 1 or 2 damage, only has 5 health with 1 shield though. It has Surge 1. What that means is place a marker on this card. When the 4th marker is placed, we increase the ascendancy track. So not terrible. We should be able to take them out. We're going to go full damage on. So both of them are rolling 2 dice. We'll start with our battle cruiser, and wow, that's a terrible roll. Well, we can ignore that, and that will give us 1 additional experience. We need 1 more, and we get our 4th augmentation, and that's just 1 hit. We'll do the explorer next. Double misses. Can I do anything about it? No, you know what I can do is I can spend 1 energy to ignore 1 of these, but that means the other one is still going to go off, which deals 1 damage to our explorer, and we place 1 token on that interdictor. We also only dealt 1 damage, and he has 1 shield, so that does absolutely nothing. We did cancel a circle though, so that means our battleship will level up and gain the level 4 augmentation. We have energy relays output. Spend 1 energy to activate another ship's module, or we have another ship may spend 1 energy to activate your module. We're definitely going to do that because we're the only one that has a module right now. What do you say we try this again, shall we? That was a pretty terrible roll. So we'll start with our battleship. Come on, we need some damage here. That's much better. 1, 2, 3, 4 total damage. And then for our explorer, we've got 2. Now we can spend our ability once again because we have enough energy. I'm down to 1 energy. Ignore that circle, gain 1 more XP for our battleship. So that means we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. 6 minus the 1 shield is 5. This interdictor is gone, and we each gain 1 scrap. And we pacified that system. We've now completed our activations, but I'd really like to take one more action, so I'm going to strain, and that means we each have to roll a strain die. So I'm going to start with the battle cruiser. We get to roll 2 times. We have an 11. That's terrible. I re-looked at the rules, how this one works for the damage cards. It's either 1 damage card if you're in yellow or 2 if you're in red. Well, that would put me in red, so I can re-roll this thanks to my shielded reactor, and it did absolutely nothing. I rolled 12 and 11, so that means I'm going to be drawing 2 for them. For our Explorer, they're going to roll a 6. Let's see, their first number is a 7, so they're actually okay. They take nothing. And oh my goodness, these stink. We have an unstable reactor. Roll twice for strain damage, choose the higher result. So I'm just assuming that that will cancel out my shielded reactor, and until I get rid of that, I'll just roll 1 time and I take that result. This one, at the beginning of your turn, lose 1 action. Well, I only have 3. So we have 1 additional action. I'm going to do a ship maintenance action. What I do really appreciate is they have on the action marker a red side here. When you choose to strain, you can flip it over, and then that way you know you've strained already. And so you have that additional action, but you can't strain again. Right, so what I'm going to do is repair 2 of my damage cards. Both of these are going to be gone, but that cost me a total of 4 scrap. 1, 2, 3, 4. That uses all of my scrap for my battleship. I had different plans, but I had to get rid of those. For my Explorer then, I'll spend 1 to repair this hull so my ascendancy track doesn't get pushed up, and I'll spend 3 more scrap to level this up because I want as much energy as I can. That way I can explore the bad tiles really far away. That ends our activation. We will discard pacification with no effect, thank goodness. And then we'll be drawing one of these soon. We only have 1 damage as a team, so that means the ascendancy track does not need to increase. I may have forgotten that these were available. Sometimes it's hard to remember everything. The co-pilot cards are awesome, but you sometimes don't look there for abilities, so make sure you do that when you play. We also need to move up the corruption track, and now our first avatar is going to show up, not to mention the next 4 Sentinel cards, which includes 3 level 2s and 1 level 3, because I already took out a level 2. It's going to be shuffled with that 1 level 1 that's left. So now we have a variety of Sentinels. We don't know what they're going to be. And now we have to reveal our top avatar. This is Ruin. Only has 19 health with 1 shield. Oh boy. Now you can kill avatars, but when you do that, they just simply respawn after 3 rounds. So if you can kill them close to the end of the game, they won't come back out, and that can be helpful. But if you kill them during the middle of the game, they're just going to come back out and haunt you. So really you just want to run away from these guys. So this is what the avatar looks like. They spawn on the corrupted tile that's closest to us. Now you'd think it'd be this one, but I put those walls strategically, so it's going to be this one over here. Remember, these are considered wormholes, so they can move between them anywhere. So if I had one of these all the way over here, they could jump over there. That's why I wanted these as far away from me as possible. Now I need to roll this die. This die is going to determine how much movement that avatar has. The red symbols means that amount of movement, and then that symbol means they can use one of our wormholes. And that wormhole is not one of the 2 movement here, so they have a total of 3 movement with the potential of using a wormhole for one of them. Let's roll this die up, and they get a total of 2 movement. 2 movement isn't terrible. 1, 2, they're still pretty far away from us. We'll start that next turn by adding a new ascendancy card. We just need to make sure that we end in the same location. Well, this is another pacification one. We once again need to pacify 1 system before that card gets discarded. Speaking of which, I almost forgot to update my pacify tokens. There we go. So now this one is no longer pacified, and this one is. All right, we're going back to our ship activation. The first thing our Explorer will do is use 1 energy and 1 action to be able to look at the top 2 tiles and place one. So we have either a blue one or a corrupted one. We're definitely going to place the blue one, and that will give them 1 scrap. Should have picked before, so I'm going to say it was that one. I should have said that. 2 explorations. We love exploration. Sadly, that doesn't help us win the game because we need to continue to explore. But now this corruption tile's on top of our stack. So let me see. Our second action, we don't have to choose to become a fleet this turn. Yeah, I don't think we do. So our next action, we're going to send another probe. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 tiles away. 1, 2. I don't have enough energy. I could do 1, 2, and at least I put it over there. I think I'm going to do this. For action 2, I am going to spend 3 more of my scrap to increase my max energy by 1, and that will push this up by 1. And we can do 2 actions, so the other one I'm just going to gain 1 scrap, so I'm back up to 4. But we've spent 2 actions. Our third action then, I think we're just going to spend 2 energy, 1, 2, so we can explore there, and place this right here and block it off. Now that is going to be adjacent to the other corrupted tiles, but that's still going to be 2 away from where we're at. I have 1 more action left. I could explore, but I think I'm going to forego that explore and move here just because I want to be farther away from the avatars. Don't forget that because I revealed this, I did gain an additional scrap. So I have 4 scrap. Of course, our battlecruiser has how much? 0. We're not going to take an extra action. I don't want to strain. Or we could strain and get the reroll, and we could do an explore. Yeah, come on, let's strain. What's life without a little risk? We'll roll up our die. We have an 8. That would mean 1 damage card. So we'll spend 1 energy, and we're going to use the battlecruiser's ability. Another ship may spend 1 energy to activate your module, which lets us re-roll, and we take the lower result. And that's a 9. Okay, we still take 1 damage card. Well, that's pretty hilarious. We have the fissured reactor. We can't strain. We can't strain again. But what we can do is explore. We found an insight exploration card. Now, something I didn't mention about the insight cards. If you choose to use extra actions, you can do 1 of these and then spend more actions to do more of them. You can do all of them if you want it. I've only been doing 1, and that's probably what I'm going to be doing because we need to continue to explore and move and find those precursor keys. I haven't found a single one yet. We could, if we wanted, hack into this avatar's network to send a false signal, or because we're a rogue, we could just get close enough and scan the ship and gain an XP. Speaking of which, we're gaining an XP doing this, and we're going to gain our 4th augmentation. Or we can access the avatar's logs and travel records. This might seem crazy. Oh, and I should say, if we succeed at this one, we can prevent the movement of the avatar this turn. Ooh, we could stick him farther back. But you know what? No, I'm going to do this one because I want more tiles revealed. We'll flip over that top tile. Ooh, and this one is an ally one. We definitely want this one. So I'm going to place it over here so that it's connected to the tile that we're at. We also revealed another tile, so we'll gain another scrap. That's so awesome. We now can choose the Universal Ship Core. You count as meeting all ship class requirements, so it gives us a lot more options on those exploration cards. Or when you explore, automatically pass skill rolls. Yeah, let's just automatically pass skill rolls, huh? Let's do that. For our battlecruiser's activation, we know what we want to end on this tile. Well, we could explore here, we could jump to here and explore there. Why not? That's our 3 actions. I don't have any scrap that we can use. We have 1 damage, but we're okay. We have lots of energy to use, but let's just do it. We'll explore for action 1. We have the Forming Rift card, so we can either overload the rift. We would need 2 hits to close it and trigger a chain reaction. This would disable all but the first rift until the end of the turn. Kind of cool. We could draw energy from the rift. We could repair 2 and gain 1 energy, or we could detonate a bomb inside the rift, and that would negate a rift for 1 round. I think we're just going to draw energy so we can repair. We have the repair, our energy's at full, but I'm okay with that. For our second action, I'm thinking of being just a little bit risky. What if we explored here, we'd get another tile out, and then we make sure we end there? Let's do it. So this is a blind jump. I don't know what this tile is. It's, one of the precursor keys, and I can put it this way so they are still connected, and that's actually awesome. This will mean we get to reveal the top precursor signal. Oh, this is the hard one. It's called the corrupt key. That doesn't sound good. This signal leads you to a station orbiting a black hole and is powered by a key. Inspecting some logs, you discover that the precursor were conducting tests on the corruption and its effects. Both the station and the key are corrupt, and taking the latter will attract the attention of the avatars. So we can, as an action, move it. The key is now accessible when claimed to place a permanent rift in that system. Oh, I don't know if we really want to do that. We have 1 more action, but I think we've got to end our activation in the same spot as our Explorer and come back and do that and turn that into a Rift system tile, which it's going to be what it'll be. I've placed this token here to denote the precursor key 1 is there. If we reveal the precursor 2 key tile before that one's picked up, then we know which one is which. All right, our third action, we're just going to move into here, and I think we're going to end our turn. Fortunately, we're in the same system, so this will move over, no problem, and we'll discard this card. We've been doing a very good job of keeping our ascendancy track low, so this is still okay. No one has any damage. We don't need to increase this. However, corruption will increase. We'll move this up 1 space. And then we do have to move the avatar. Oh my gosh, we rolled a blank. A blank means the avatar doesn't move. It's sleeping on the job. That'll mean we can remove this pacify token. We're going to replenish all of the co-pilots. Our energy replenishes to full, and we're ready for the next round. That next round starts by drawing a new ascendancy card, and this one is Endurance Test. The corruption preys on weakness, seeking to shatter the fleet's resolve. Only those who stand unbroken can resist its influence. The fleet must endure the storm, proving their strength by emerging from battle unscathed. Any sign of vulnerability will tip the balance in the corruption's favor. Place a marker, and then it says the number of ships in play. Before discarding this card, advance the marker for each ship with full hull. So we need to make sure we have full hull at the end of our next turn. The Explorer will start first, spending his first action to explore. That means he's 1 away from his 5th augmentation. We have found a trapped ally. So our options are we can hack the stasis device to free the ship safely, or we can't do the specialist because we're not a specialist. We can also blast the device to free the ship. Now, if we do this one, we get a mod. If we do this one, the ship is ensnared in an unstable status field, teetering on the brink of criticality. What a word. Freeing it could allow you to place a random ally from reserve in this system. That's cool. Do we want to do that, or do we want a mod? A mod is random, an ally is random. Oh my gosh, what do I want to do? I think we're going to do this one because we auto-succeed. We don't have to roll. That's because of one of our augmentations. Automatically pass skill rolls. Yeah, why don't we? So we'll get to place out an extra ally. We'll place that ally token here. Now, every game you'll see 2 allies. They have a 3rd ally token, and this is how you find it. I didn't have any idea how you found it. Well, we find it from an exploration card. We were able to save a cartographer ship. This has the ability during the action phase. We can reveal up to 3 systems anywhere once per game. We are definitely going to do that. With allies, they'll all have a special ability. You can use them at any time from anywhere. You don't even have to be in that location. Most of them, I think all of them actually, are once per game. They also will have 3 basic mods and 1 precursor module for sale. So we have the dimensional battery. You and your fleet recover 1 action. Oh, I really want that. Oh, it's only when you use a wormhole. Then we have gain. Okay, so when you gain scraps, gain 1 additional. Then we have this one. You have to spend an energy. Reroll 1 of your dice. That is not a miss. And then our final one here. This one is a discard, so it's a one-time use. During your turn, you and your fleet recover 2 actions. We can buy that. That costs 5 scrap, which we actually have 5 scrap. Do we want to do that? Before we decide any of that, let's do that once per game action and reveal 3 system tiles. The 3 tiles we revealed, 2 are good and 1 has an enemy, which we actually want to pacify 1 this turn if we can. So I think I'm going to put this one by us, but this is our 2nd precursor key. Once we gain that 2nd key, all we need to do is find that main rift, drop it there, and protect it from those blasted avatars. We're going to place the 3 tiles like so. This will become a rift, so I'm hoping that we can then get away from it and then go ahead and do some more exploration and level up. Oh, this is so much fun. We did just reveal 3 more tiles. I think we gained scrap for each one of those because of our other mod that states when we reveal a system, gain 1. So we have a total of 8. I'm going to spend 7. This is a new action called Trade. We're going to trade with an ally. So this is action 2. We have 2 more actions remaining. We're going to grab the energy network. You and your fleet recover 2 actions, and you and your fleet recover 1 action. think that could be really helpful later on in the game. But that means I only have 1 scrap remaining. With action 3, we are going to be a little bit risky. We're going to move into here. And then action 4, we're going to deal with that corrupt key so that we can claim our first precursor key. We're going to give that to our explorer. And then that is going to change this tile into a corrupted tile. And avatars can teleport to that location from another corrupted tile. And that's our 4th action. I could try and strain for an extra action, but remember my damage card does not allow me to do any sort of straining. So I think I'm just going to be done. That means it is our battle cruiser's activation. He's going to move 1 into here. And then action 2, we are going to encounter an enemy. This means we cannot roll to even try and avoid this detection, but I really want to pacify that system. So we're going to move into here for action 2. We have for ourselves a level 2 recon scout. This is not great. If we roll 1 miss, we have binding. That states you cannot disengage during the next attack, and there's 2, it's only 1 damage to us, but it's crippling. What's crippling? That means we would lose an action. Oh boy. Well, we're going to give it a shot, right? The first thing we're going to do is spend 1 energy, and we are going to use this one. Add 1 die from the reserve to your dice roll. I'm going to add this red, and I'm going to go full attack. So that's 2 reds and a yellow for the first attack. This thing has 9 health and 1 shield. We'll roll up our 3 dice, and look at that. That surge can be a success. Each of those actually counts as a success. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it takes 7 damage. It's down to 2 health. I like that. We're then going to attack it again for the next round. Now, this red die is removed from the game. There's now only, 4, 5, 6, 7 dice in the reserve. We just need 3 damage here to take them out. Oh, double blanks. Well, we're for sure going to use our ability. Actually, we can use our ability. You or another ship in this fleet re-roll both their dice. Thank you very much. I'm down to 1 energy. That's worth it. And look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4 total hits. That will take out that recon scout. It's a level 2, so that means we will gain 2 scrap. Not only that, we've been able to pacify this system. We have 1 action left because we've did 2 moves. And our 3rd one, we're going to move here, and let's reveal our other precursor card. This is the Shielded Outpost. You follow the signal to a barren moon orbiting a giant gas planet. In one of the craters, you discover an outpost with its shield still up, preventing anyone or anything from entering. To claim the key powering it, you'll have to take out the shield with brute force. Place the key on the slot matching the number of ships, so that's going to be here. And then what we need to do, as an action, perform a skill roll and advance it for each attack rolled on it. Once it's in the last spot, it's accessible. Oh, okay. So we definitely have the battle cruiser there, which is nice. Do we want to strain? We get to roll twice and strain. Let's do it. We're going to try and strain and do an extra action and see if we can roll this once. Hoping for less than a 5 on one of these 2. There's a 1. A 1 and a 1. Well, I used all my 1s right there, but we are good. That means we can roll our 2 dice for an attack. Let's just do it now. 2 blanks. That means we did not move that precursor up at all. I'm so glad we spent that action. We were able to pacify that system, so I'll move this over, and at the end of the action phase, this gets discarded, and we don't have to move up the ascension track. Both of our ships are fully repaired besides a damage card, but that does not impact where one of our augmentations for the avatar, so we're okay. We've just moved that up. Next round, we're going to spawn our 2nd avatar. We then need to roll and see what our avatar is going to do. Oh boy, I think that was here. It's going to move 2 spaces, cannot use any of our wormholes. With 2 movement, I think it's the fastest to go 1, 2, 3, right? So it's going to move 1, 2, but it cannot get to us. I was banking on that for our explorer, so our explorer can get out of that space. Okay, we're going to flip this over. We'll replenish with 3 new co-pilots. We'll refresh all of our energy and start our next turn. We'll start the next action phase drawing another Ascendancy card. This is a Sentinel Purge. The Avatar's mechanical sentinels patrol the galaxy, their cold precision guarding key systems with deadly efficiency. The fleet must band together, pooling their strength to purge these relentless sentinels before they tighten their grip on the systems. So we have to place our marker as an action, perform a skill roll, and advance it for each of the skill icons rolled. If when we discard this, if it's here, here, or any farther up, it's going to move up 2 or 1 on the ascendancy track. Normally that would be an issue, but I'm so low on that track, I might just forego that so I can just continue pushing. I don't have that many tiles left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 7 tiles left, so I just might forego that and just work on exploring. I got to find that final rift, and I need to do better at my shielded outpost. Speaking of which, we're going to have our battle cruiser start the round trying to gain that key. We're going to roll these up. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that enough to claim the key? 1, 2, 3, 4. We're off by 1. Let's do our second action and do the same thing. We just need 1 hit, and we get absolutely no hits. All right, third action. Let's just roll them again. What a turn. There we go. Certainly enough. We can claim this key. So now we have both keys. Our explorer's turn is going to be quick. We're going to have our explorer move here for action 1. Action 2, we're going to explore, and that will give us our 5th augmentation. We found a research station. Even after countless years, precursor technology remains active with the AI extending a greeting. This is a rare chance to delve deeper into the mysteries surrounding the enigmatic precursors. Now, I could take 2 actions here if I wanted. I for sure want to access the maps station because that will let us reveal a tile. Ask for the assistance. I don't really want to do that one, and I can't do this when I'm not a specialist or a precursor. So I'm only going to do 1. We're just going to access the map and reveal another tile. And we get to level up. Let's just do it here. So this is our 5th one. So we have either spend 2 energy, spawn an exploration marker in your system. It's kind of cool. Or spend 1 energy. You can move through avatars, hyperspace. Definitely going to choose that one. I'm going to reveal this map tile and put it here because I know it's not going to be the final rift. We have more than 5 left of the tiles, and I have the 2 that I need. So I don't even care what this is. Let's just flip it. Oh, it's another bad one. Beautiful. We'll just put it here. We've completed 2 actions. Let's do action 3, moving in with our battle cruiser. And action 4, we'll spend an energy so we can explore here, and we can look at 2 and pick 1. So either our ally number 2, or just an exploration. Let's do the ally number 2. They're both good. So we'll place this one like so. We now have to discard our endurance test. Both of us are at full hull, so still no negative effect. However, another avatar is going to spawn, and it's going to be 2 spaces away from us. I didn't even think about that. We have the Ravage, 18 health. This thing charges. Yeah, this is not going to be good. We also need to grab the next 4 cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, from the Sentinel Reserve deck. So 3 of these will be level 3s, one's going to be a level 4, and shuffle it in with our Sentinels. We now have a lot of Sentinels in this deck because I have not been fighting as much as I was at the beginning. We then need to roll for the avatars. We're going to start by rolling for the Ruin, the one that first came out, and that was a terrible roll. Come on, roll this die. Okay, that's 2 total movement. That means this avatar will move 1, 2, and it's just, 1 away from us. This one may get to our space. Let's roll up the die and see. Oh yeah, it's going to be able to get to our space. So it's going to move 1, 2, and it's here. And what we need to do is deal with it at the beginning of our turns. If I recall correctly from the first edition, I think you immediately would have to roll for a damage roll when they would show up in your tile. That's different now with the second edition. From my understanding, we don't have to do that till the beginning of our turn. We can either initiate combat or we can just try and run away, which means we have to do a damage roll. To end the round, we will unpacify this system. I've got 3 co-pilot cards I didn't even use. I'm going to discard them and replenish them. And we have replenished our energy. For our next turn, we reveal our next Ascendancy card. It's Unclaimed Power. The keys hold the last remnants of power strong enough to challenge the corruption, yet they lie scattered across the void. We have both, untouched and unclaimed. Every moment they remain out of our reach, the enemy tightens its grip on the galaxy. The fleet must act before this power slips into oblivion, or worse, falls into the wrong hands. We've placed our marker here, advanced the marker for each unclaimed key. Well, we've claimed both, so I'm not going to be able to advance that. If not prevented, from now on, when we have to discard this, we'll increase the ascendancy by 1 whenever a ship uses a hyperspace rush. We haven't done that action yet. That is when you move through 3 revealed tiles and only show up in the final one, so you can ignore any effects in the ones that you move through, but you can't do that where there's an avatar, unless, of course, you're the explorer, because we have that ability. It does take 2 actions to do that hyperspace rush, and you have to move exactly 3 tiles. You can't move up to 3. It is exactly 3 tiles. We'll start the round with our explorer. We're currently engaged with an avatar. There's very little reason for us to attack this avatar. Even if we kill it, it's showing up in 3 turns anyways, and I don't think we're going to kill it. So I want to disengage. In order to do that, I have to do a damage roll. So I'm going to roll up my 2 dice. And that's horrible. I rolled 2 blanks. When you roll 2 blanks, you don't take a damage, you just take a damage card. We unfortunately drew the damage module. We have to disable 1 augmentation. I think I'm going to disable my hyperspace probe here. We're just going to cover that up. Now that we've disengaged, we then have to immediately do a jump, a blind jump, or a hyperspace rush. We're just going to do a jump and move to an adjacent tile. We've got one right here, so we will jump there, and that is an ally, so we get to draw an ally card. We found a hyperspace drone, so during our action phase, you can trade with this ally from any system. Oh, so we can get any of these at any time. We get 1 precursor and 3 regular. Gravity bombs place a wormhole in this system. That would then be discarded. Ignore 1 once per combat. Oh, no, it's combat round. It's just once per combat, but that is cool. We have emerging batteries, recover 3 energy, and we have skeleton key program. You may treat the hits as skills as well, and vice versa. We've completed our first action jumping to this tile. I think action 2, we're going to blind jump. Let's go this way. It's easier for recording. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is a chance this is the final rift. So I could instead do a probe, but I need to get some space between us and these avatars. So I'm going to take a chance and just explore or blind jump right here. Okay, well, I should have known this. I knew this one was just an exploration, and that will also give us 1 total scrap thanks to our augmentation ability. Action 3 then, we are going to spend 1 energy. We're going to do a probe and just check out here. So we're going to look at the top 2. There is the rift. And we have one that simply has an enemy. Do I want to? I don't want to put the rift out quite yet. So let's put this one here like so. And the rift is on top of our deck. So we need to think about how we want to deal with that. I think then our final action, we are just going to explore. And that will mean we're 1 away from gaining our 6th augment. We found the Cultist Factory, so we could do a skill roll, which, by the way, we automatically pass all skill rolls. And this would allow us to prevent the rise of corruption this turn. Oh my gosh. I feel like we should just do that. This one would let us take one of those corrupt tiles and make it not corrupt for the turn. And this one would just give us 4 total scrap. But this one is just too good. We won't have to increase the corruption track. I feel like that's worth it, because that's how we're going to lose the game, right? Pushing up that track, or if we both get destroyed. But I'm feeling good. We're both at full health right now. So yeah, we're going to choose this one and prevent the corruption rise. Our battleship will be the next to activate. We have to do that damage roll to escape. We have no damage there, which is really nice. So let's go ahead and do a jump. I might actually have an idea. So we're going to escape for action 1. Action 2, we're going to move here. And action 3, we are going to give this key as a trade action over to the Explorer. So the Explorer just needs to get to that rift, which we know is the next tile, and drop both of those keys off. Once that happens, these two get to take 1 immediate move. We roll a die, and they're going to move into that space. If we can somehow position our battlecruiser to have these avatars focus on him instead of trying to focus on that main rift, basically while they're trying to move to the main rift, they run into him, he will stop their movement and we don't have to defeat them. Any that get into that final rift, though, we do have to destroy. So I'm trying to decide how we want to do this. You know, I could do it the other way and instead have the Explorer give the key over to the battlecruiser. The battlecruiser will have both keys. The battlecruiser can drop it off next turn. We could have the Explorer Oh man, how do we want to do this? There's an obnoxious rift right here that this avatar would likely move 1 and then 2 to get to that main rift, because the main rift is also considered a corrupted tile, so they can teleport from one to the other. This one, 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3 would go either way. So I think there might be a chance that one of the avatars gets there, and we can have the battle cruiser go on a final fight between an avatar and the battle cruiser, and if the battle cruiser can win, then we win the game. So yeah, I think that's all we're going to do. That will end our turn. Of course, I was doing all that calculation. Those avatars are going to move, so it's going to totally change. Gosh darn. All right, the Sentinel Purge is going to go off, and we have to increase the Ascendancy by 2 because we didn't do any of this one. When that happens, we have to reveal our second augmentation. Now, the threshold has also increased to 2, by the way. We have Enlightened. During the corruption phase, when an avatar engages a ship or fleet, each ship must perform a damage roll. That's mean. There's another thing. Do you see this symbol here? Going forward, all ships, including sentinels and avatars, have +1 health. You place a marker on the tracker for the combats to remind yourself of that. Corruption would normally increase, but because of that event that we completed, that does not happen. Let's start with this avatar. Please don't get into our space. It doesn't move! Okay, this one. Let's see about this one. It can move up to 2. It can use wormholes. There's no wormholes. So this one's going to move 1, 2, which is absolutely perfect because we can have this one then. It's going to move this way towards the final rift. This one, 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. It's likely going to go this way. Can't even get there, though. I think the most it can move is 2. Oh, no, there is a 3 on here. All right, well, let's see what happens. We have to discard all of our co-pilot cards. We'll draw 3 new ones. I have not used those very well, but that's okay. That's what happens when you're recording and trying to play as optimal as you can. Our next Ascendancy card is Supply and Demand. The corruption preys on the unprepared, twisting desperation into ruin. To stand against the coming storm, the fleet must demonstrate their resourcefulness, hoarding enough supplies to prove they are not mere wanderers, but survivors ready for the trials ahead. Those who lack the means to endure will falter first. Place a marker. How do we move this? Before discarding this card, advance the marker for each ship that has 3 or more of the scrap. Well, you know what? This one isn't even going to matter because I think I'm going to end the game during this turn. So, not worried about that. Are you ready for this? Let's do it. Our explorer is going to go first. He is going to send out a probe. We know it's the final rift. That's what we need. We're then going to do a ship repair. Sure. And we're going to discard these 2 supplies to get rid of, let's get rid of this ship module, this damage module. And that's all we're going to do. We're done. Then we're going to have the battle cruiser. He's going to move into here. For action 2, we're going to drop off both keys. That's what we need to win the game. We have technically, we're basically there. But now these 2 avatars are both going to move. So we're going to start with this one. We'll roll this die up. And are you serious? It's only on 1 out of the 6 sides. I don't know, maybe I didn't give that a good roll. There. It would still have 2 movement, could use wormholes, but this one's going to move here. This one could move 1, 2, 3, or it could move 1, 2, 3. If I get a 3, that one's going to get in. If not, we actually just win. Let's roll it up. Oh, we have a 2 and a wormhole. Can it use a wormhole? The closest wormhole is over here. Is there a wormhole? No, I think we're good. It would move 1, 2, and it would try for that 3rd action to move here, but it can't. So I think we just won. I have never won this game. I never won the 1st edition. And I think that Explorer's ability to throw so much of the corruption away from us really helped us. Oh my gosh, that was so much fun. But you can see there are 8 ships in this game, 8 different ships that you can combine. You can play up to 4 characters. There's an absolute smattering of these precursor cards. Look at these, all these different precursor cards. We have so many more exploration cards. This is a prototype, by the way, so there's probably going to be even more. Here's all of those avatars, I should say allies, There are 2 avatars we didn't even get to see. I didn't even get to show you how corrupted fate works, because if ever you are defeated, but not both ships or all ships are defeated, you will respawn during the next turn, but you have to corrupt one of your dice, and every time you roll a blank on that die, these go off and they all stink. What a cool idea, though. I love how you're not totally out of the game, but then you have a negative detriment to deal with. I think these co-pilot cards are awesome. I did use a few of them, but not as many as I thought I would. The augmentations, I love how you've got 3 different ways to upgrade your ship. You've got your augmentations, you've got upgrading your energy so you can do different things, and you've got the modules. All of that together, lots to explore here. Hopefully this helps you decide if you want to pick up this 2nd edition, and let me know in the comments below if you decide to back it. I'm kind of curious because I am definitely thinking of backing this one. I do find the system to be really fun, and I like that I can play with 2 ships now instead of having to play with 3 or 4. I want to give a huge shout out to our patrons and subscribers. It's because of you that Barrett and I do what we do. I also want to give a huge thank you for sending this prototype, so really appreciate being able to show this on the channel. If you're excited to see what Barrett and I have coming next, then I need you to meet me at the table. Goodbye, everyone.